Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Surround for the Atari 2600. Also released as Chase for the Sears Telegames, which was Sears' own little variant of the Atari 2600. This came out way back in 1977, and I believe it was one of the launch titles. And if not, it probably came out soon afterwards. It's a Snake game. It's a Snake style game, but even that term didn't really exist back in the 80s. That wasn't until the 90s, particularly the late 90s, when they were called Snake style games or Snake games or what have you. The Snake game actually has its origins back in earlier in the 70s with a little game called Blockade by Gremlin Industries, not to be confused with Gremlin, who made all those games for the micros in the UK. That's a different Gremlin. And interestingly, just like Snake, well, kind of like Snake, you just had to do a thing while also not running into a wall or running into yourself. And while you're not picking up food or anything, that would be much like the Snake game that I played on BBC Micro some time ago. In this one, you're going up against a computer-controlled opponent or another human-controlled opponent in case of two-player mode, and one of you has to last long enough and make sure that you don't hit yourself or the wall before your opponent does. That's basically it. I know I've spent at least 2 minutes explaining everything, but, well, I kind of had to get a few things cleared up. So there's a few things that you can do. There are a few game modes. There are some things that you can do with the difficulty switches, and I will mention those. But I want to play Game Mode 2. Game Mode 2 is basically going to be just the regular Surround game. It's the first to 10 points. And to score a point, your opponent has to either hit the wall, run into your trail, or run into its own trail. And games can be rather intense, so you definitely want to watch out. So let's go ahead and set the game mode to 2 with the game select switch, and then reset. And from here we have control of the green guy, because I've managed to figure out how to make controller 1 the right control port. The red guy is the computer-controlled person, and they are almost running into themselves. I don't know how long I am going to last here. I am really cutting it close. There we go. We scored a point. Red ran into its own trail. And yeah, that's basically what I want to do. I just want to make sure that red run into its own trail, and that is what it has done. The computer-controlled player is not very smart, as you can see. And now I'm just doing things a little weirdly. But, well, the computer just decided to give me an advantage right there. And now you've done the thing now. So I can just go ahead and do this, now that you've trapped yourself. Silly computer-controlled opponent you. And that'll net me my 3rd point. And let's see if I can do things a little differently. I can. But will the computer do anything differently? Well, maybe. Or not. You're just gonna go where you shouldn't. I don't know why you would. Which wasn't very smart. And just like that, just with the constant speed, I'm able to watch as the computer just loses on purpose, apparently. I don't know how else to mention what's going on. They just kind of stick to their half of the screen. Like I said, the computer is not that bright. And now you're going that way. And I look like a weird earthworm. We both look like weird earthworms. And had to time things a little bit just to move around that corner just like that. That was a thing. And I probably shouldn't have done that. That may have given my opponent the edge there. We'll see, though. The computer will somehow find a way to foul this up. I'm sure of it. And I think I may have fouled it up myself. Or not. At least I gave myself enough room for that. So that works. And the computer just keeps going left. Why is the computer-controlled opponent afraid of going into the upper right-hand part of the field? I don't get that. I really don't get that. I almost ran into the wall and gave my opponent a point because I was too busy talking. That would have been embarrassing. But I can do this. If you can time your movements right, you can move where you want, when you want. Which is quite nice. And once again, well, I did it even faster than usual. Way to get 10 points, me. And we get funny colors, which means that somebody won. In this case, it's me who got the 10 points first. And that's just the garden variety form of the game right there. That is game mode 2. Game mode 1 is the same, except you have a human player controlling the guy on the left with the red square. That's pretty much the only difference. Also, I should mention the thing with the difficulty switches. If I can find my controls, that would be great. There they are. All right. So, if you set the right difficulty switch, or in the case of player 2, the left, to A/expert, you can do something rather funny. And I believe it is F7. Okay, right difficulty A. Let's go ahead and restart to do this again. You can run into yourself for no reason at all. That's it. That's the only real difference between the difficulty being on B/novice and A/expert. A/expert lets you do that. And that's pretty much it. Every game mode has its own color scheme, and this is the one for game mode 2, where you and the computer both look like earthworms with funny looking or funny colored heads. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. But there is more to this game than just this game mode, and I will cover another game mode in the next video. So join me next time where we show off, or I rather show off, game modes 3 and 4, particularly 4 because that's the one player versus computer version. And in that one, your snakes gradually speed up rather than staying at the same speed all throughout the game. That'll be fun to look at. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!